and welcome to the Micron Podcast. I'm Sheung Okimbaloye. Of course, you already know if it's topical, human interest, and of national interest, we'll dig into it. This week on the Micron Podcast, we turn the spotlight on politics, party loyalties, and more reactions on the biggest political stories in the country. Our guest is Zainab Buba Galadima. Well, she's a member of the All Progressives Congress APC and the daughter of one of Nigeria's most prominent opposition voices, Alhaji Buba Galadima. What happens when the father and the daughter find themselves on opposite sides of Nigeria's political divide? We dig into how it feels navigating politics from a different party than her father, what she really thinks of the new coalition, and whether the APC, her party, is facing an identity crisis ahead of the next elections. Get ready for sharp takes and the kind of conversation that keeps the mic on. Let's dive in. Thank you so much, Zainab, for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Well, you're the most talked about daughter of Alhaji Buba Galadima. He's spoken about you so many times on interviews, yes. And you're being the subject of controversy.
Yes, I have.
How does that feel?
I'm used to it.
At home, how much of trouble does that cause?
At home or outside?
At home, with you and your father and your family.
No, it's just like nothing ever happens when we're inside. But when it's outside, a lot of people say a lot of things, you know. But I'm used to it because he has already warned me anyway. So you at no point had trouble each time he mentions you in his interviews? No, I've had trouble outside, a lot of trouble.
But not with him?
No, not with him.
You've not had to pick any bones with him as to how your name has been politicized, you know?
No, because I'm in politics anyway, so I know it comes with the territory. So, and sometimes I tell him, can you
slow down?
Slow down. He'll be like, no, I can't. You want me to die? You know, but I'm used to it, and I'm proud of him. Your
father used you to get political benefit, yet he's fighting those who gave you the benefit. How do you see that?
I don't understand. Used me to get benefits.
You I mean, the word on the street is that he got you a job with government. That same government he was fighting.
No, he never got me a job. I ran for office. I was a councillor. I was an elected councillor under CPC, and then we moved into APC. So when APC was formed in Amak, I was the leader because naturally when a party comes up and they look at the highest ranking maybe member or office holder, and that person becomes the leader of the party in that area. So that was what I was. And I built myself politically by myself. I never had some, he never gave me...
So your father was not your godfather?
No,
political godfather?
No, at all.
So he didn't help you to get a job in the villa because
he never did.
you were the Buba Galadima's daughter that got a job with Buhari.
Yes.
And yet he fought Buhari.
Yes.
So it's not true that your father got you the job.
How can he get me a job? They don't get along with him. He can't get me a job.
Well, it was said that it was his influence that got you the job.
No. I met the vice president then, Professor Emi Oshibajo, during campaign. So he asked me to work with him. So we went around Abuja, we were campaigning, and he asked to work with me. Because we had a conversation together, and he was like, what do you do, as a councillor? I told him, and I just gave him a brief of, my CV, and he was like, oh, really? So you went to school like this? I was like, yes. And he was like, can you work with me? Because I gave him an idea. I had this idea of empowering young women, young people, women as well. This was so he asked me to put it down in writing. So I gave it in writing before inauguration in 2015. So when I did that, that was what they built up to make trader money. So I got to the VP's office by myself.
The trader money was from your idea?
Yes. I was doing it on a small scale level, on my ward level. So that was how I got there. But my father never had any hand in anything. Because if they knew, anybody that knows me as his daughter, if I come to ask for any favors, I don't get it.
So your father was even an obstacle for you politically?
Oh, seriously, till tomorrow.
So was Yemi Oshibajo, the former VP, that got you the job?
Yes.
Not Buba Galadima?
No, not Buba Galadima.
So Buba Galadima as a name has caused you more trouble than favors?
Yeah, well, favors, there are some places we get favors. Maybe places where maybe you have to get some things done, some processes, but because of his goodwill, he has a lot of goodwill, so we get that. But maybe to get contracts or jobs, no. My brothers do not have jobs. If they see Buba Galadima on your name, because a lot of my brothers had to change Buba to Abubakar sometimes, and sometimes I have to even say, please say it's Zainab Abubakar, don't say Buba. If you say it, I don't get to scale through. So that's.
How do you feel that you have a notorious father?
It's interesting. Sometimes I will be like, oh my God, what has he done again? But sometimes, we just laugh it off. And sometimes when he's going to meet you, I'll be like, please don't call names, please. But
so each time you see me interviewing Buba Galadima, how do you feel?
I don't sit down to watch it because I really don't want to hear what he has
to say. You hold your
say.
breath.
So when
literally.
he finishes, I ask people, so did he say anything about, But he's a very interesting person and a very funny person, and he's down to earth, very friendly.
You love him.
Yeah. But he's a handful.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Everybody knows that.
Yes.
Even those who grew up with him knows that. Buba, troublemaker.
And funny enough, they think I'm his female version, but I think we're.
I think you are.
Really?
Come to think of it, are you not?
No, not as.
You're not as handful.
Well, it depends on the situation. Yes.
But you have the activism in you.
Yes.
The political activism.
Yes, I do. But I am a bit disappointed, so I'm not too... he believes so much in Nigeria, and sometimes when you get to do a lot of things and you don't see these things that you do, get to where you want to be, sometimes you get a bit disappointed. But I'm surprised that he's been doing this for over 40 years and he's still not tired. I told him, you have to retire. I think by next election, we'll get him to at least keep quiet and just rest.
How easy can you get people like Galadima to keep quiet? As long as his lungs and are working and breath is in him, yeah. I don't see it. I've known him for so many years.
He's always been like that.
Yeah, it's always been like that. Do you belong to the same political school of thought?
Sometimes. It depends.
Do you agree with his opinions, his political opinions?
Sometimes I do, but sometimes we argue on issues.
He thinks that the government you worked for was a failure.
Yes, so do other people.
Do you think so? That the Buhari government was a failure?
Not completely. There are some parts where I think they should have done better. I think they had a lot of wrong people at the wrong places. And, in politics, most politicians, they think that the people that really worked hard to make sure they put a government in place are being considered. There are a lot of capable people, competent people that you could. But we find ourselves in situations in Nigeria whereby you're a party member and you've worked so hard, you've sacrificed, you've been loyal, and then at the end of the day, they'll go and bring somebody from London, America, who doesn't have any clue what Nigerian situation is all about, and they give them, and usually they fail, So there are some situations that have been of questionable,
So you are not even proud of the Buhari government you worked for?
Actually, after, sometimes when you finish something or when you're in the middle of something, you don't really get to see how you've done until you've finished, and you've assessed yourself, and you'll be like, oh my God, so I did this. And that comes with power. When you're in power and you don't have good people or people that actually have that vision with you, and they sometimes they mislead you. And then when you get out, you find yourself in situations, you'll be like, oh my God, I should have done this better. And I think there are a lot of regrets, I wasn't really... Yes, I served in the government, but not in a capacity where my performance will be assessed. So it's hard for somebody like me to say, oh, I regret. But there are some situations I'm like, no, we shouldn't have done this. Because I can't single myself out because I was part of the people that actually campaigned and believed in that government. So any failure on our part, I think I am one of the people that should be responsible for that. So yes, I have some regrets, definitely.
About the Buhari government?
Yes, I do.
If you look back, what would you have maybe done differently?
Well, in my situation, for example, I was just a technical assistant. So we had no budget. I had no salary. And there was very little we could do. Only if international organizations had funded maybe a project that we were doing. But so far on our own side, because of our office, we were able to set up SAC centers, that is sexual assault response centers in different states, I think about 8 to 9, which is commendable, I think. And a lot of cases were reported of abuse and sexual violence. So I think we've done reasonably well, but we could have done better if we had, if we had the resources to do so. But there are some people, I learned something about the Buhari government. People don't really get fired like that. I think there should be an assessment of performance, and they never did. So people were in power or in office for like 8 years or 7 years, and they just kept, serving people the same terrible results that they were used to, and there was no check on that. So I think they could have.
You work closely with Professor Shibajo, and there are those on the inside who thought that the Buhari and those who are around him literally subjugated the man, the VP, and didn't allow him to exhibit his capacity. Yes, was that what really happened?
Yes, I think there were a few people that were being accused of that, but because also even within our own office, there were people that were close, there were people that were closer, and there were people that were closest. Do you understand? But me, I wasn't even closer. I wasn't even allowed. No.
You're not even.
No, I wasn't even allowed to the closest. Do you understand? I wasn't really.
So there's a degree to the Cabalism that happened.
Same like every house, there are cabals. Even in my
so even around Oshibajo, there were cabals.
Yeah, there were people that were handle things.
We thought it was Buhari that had a cabal.
Everybody has a cabal. I have a cabal. Everybody does. So there's some people you share things with, and there's some people that you share limited information with. So everywhere has. It's just that because we name it, when we say cabals, people think, they're just maybe probably bad people or people that just held you by the, neck to get you to do whatever they want.
But the cabal in the Buhari government, how terrible was it?
I heard it was quite terrible because you had to go and kneel down and do some things to get yourself favors and get yourself appointments and contracts and stuff.
And if you didn't do that, nothing?
Nothing. Look at me. It wasn't that easy. And I can't go to anybody because of who I am. It wasn't that easy for me. Naturally, they do not trust me. So I just took it like that, and I was just there.
And so I was asking you about Professor Shibajo. How, because there are those who say it was so embarrassing that literally small people in the office of the president literally subjugated the vice president.
I think so. I think he had so much more to offer, but the opportunities, he wasn't really
given the opportunity to exhibit his potentials.
Yes, because there were a few times where he, did some things and people saw the difference. Especially when he was acting president, when he was in charge of, situations, there were times that you could see that, oh, really, if this guy is allowed, he could have done, better. So. I think there were some forces that did not really allow him to be who if they had allowed him to be what he wanted to do, I think he would have done better.
Are you seeing the APC?
Yes, I am. But I mean, APC, in Hausa they say APC Tagumi.
What does that mean?
Watch and see.
But you are the CPC block of the APC.
Oh, yeah, you can call that. I should think after becoming APC, we're just, but I know that sometimes if situations arise, some people will say, oh, we're the CPC block. So, yeah, I'm from the CPC, but I'm in APC.
So, are you of the Malami tilt?
No, I'm on Zainab team. I don't follow anybody.
Because it feels like there is a situation that makes it look like there are a lot of people in the CPC block of the APC.
Yes.
They have something against the Bola Tinubu and the shape of the APC as it's personally constituted right now. That makes it look like maybe the Buhari boys or the Buhari people in the APC are up against Bola Tinubu. Did you have that feeling too?
Yes, I think these are the people that formed the coalition, and they've been agitating for maybe inclusion, and they feel like maybe things are not being done right. I do understand their situations, but they were in power for 8 years. They handled matters. All those people that were there, they were ministers. They were powerful people in the Buhari government. Anything that is happening in this Tinubu government, they have a hand in it. They should also be held responsible. So I don't see what the screaming is all about. You know, in every situation, you always find people that are not happy. You know, I do understand. I've never been happy since I've been in APC, but you don't see me forming stuff. Maybe you should try and change it. But the thing is, I think I just do not even understand. I'm yet to understand why all this is all about, because I believe that everything has time. And during your own time, what did you do? What policies did you really push forward for the people?
So the Malamis and co who are agitating in the APC joining the coalition, you don't agree with them?
Not completely. I'm not convinced with their argument. They've spent 8 years in power. And this is just 2 years. You know, I'm not supporting anybody. I'm not happy either way. You know, I'm not happy with the way things are going. Things are really hard, especially now. You know, every morning you open your phone, people are asking you to help them, you know, just to feed for the next meal. You know, so I really want to understand what really it is they're fighting for.
You're one of those who helped, in your little way, helped to form the APC.
Yes.
But the last 8 years of Buhari, 2 years of Bola Tinubu, 10 years in total, are you proud of what you helped to form?
No, I'm not.
Would you describe it last 10 years as a failure to this country?
You know, if you, for example now, if you're not in the position of power, you will never understand. But when you go in, you will understand the real damage. And there's some forces, for example, if you really want to make a change and make a difference, there's some forces that always pulls you down. Even within us, you know, there are people, for example, now you bring a policy that will probably ease the expensive living conditions of Nigerians. But somebody somewhere will decide, oh no, what's my cut? What do I have to get in it? What do I have to benefit? But we fail to understand that anything that happens to person A in the north or in Bama will still affect the person in Anambra. So any decision we make that is against the people will always come back to haunt us. So, and they fail to understand that we don't just look at what we can get now, but what the future will bring. So I'm really not happy. I thought APC was really ready for victory. We did not know how to manage victory, and I don't think we were ready for governance, you know, truly ready. You see people screaming, oh, I'm for the people, I'm for the people. But once they get there, you'll be asking, is this the same person that I used to know? You know, so a lot of people, you know, Nigeria is a very funny country. So that's why sometimes it's really hard to believe anybody that comes with maybe a project of, oh, I am this person, I'm good, I'm going to take you out of the trenches. It's all a lie. If I'm going to run for office, I'll never make promises.
Like you have to make campaign.
Yeah, you have to, but
manifesto.
There is a way you can make promises that will not, because when you get there, it's completely different. You would think that when you get there, oh, I can just. So
government is a messy place.
Yeah, it is. It is terrible. Just councillor that I was, it messed me up. You know, I was like, they were like, okay, can you go for second time? I was like, no. What do I?
But you ran for House of Reps.
Yes, I did in 2015. I didn't have money to buy the votes. That's
how you lost.
Too broke to run.
But you're a daughter of Buba Galadima.
He doesn't have money.
Are you disappointed with the Tinubu government's performance?
A little bit. I am. Truly I am. Because I feel like, for example, if a policy is going to be introduced that will affect the people, there should be something that should be replaced before that is being taken off. You can't just give birth to a child and the child will start running. You know, there are processes. They start sitting, crawling, you know, before they start the 1 step, 2 step and running. You know, you can't just remove something from people and Life is difficult.
Was that insensitive as far as you're concerned?
I think it's a bit insensitive. It is.
Do you think they can fix it?
They can, if they want to.
How?
They should get experts, people that know the job. And they should
And the people then, is it that they don't know the job?
No, they don't. Most of them don't.
The Tinubu cabinet?
Maybe out of the ministers, maybe 3, 4.
There's sound.
Yeah. So I don't think.
It's an empty cabinet, empty shell as far as you're concerned.
I really, at least during Buhari, sometimes I know who is who. Then if somebody tells me, oh, there's a minister, I'll be like, oh, he's a minister. You don't even know because you don't even hear about him. What do they do? And they complain that there's no funding, there's no money, so they can't do anything.
So the Buhari, in your own estimation, the Buhari cabinet is better than the Tinubu cabinet?
They're more or less the same. But Buhari's people, they had money. So at least they can be.
And they have freedom and independence.
Yes. But I feel like, the moment you go to a minister and you say, oh, okay, I think this will be good, you'll be like, we can't really do anything. I'm like, so you can't do anything about it. And really, they're not doing anything.
So the Tinubu ministers are just toothless ministers who don't have the capacity to perform. But Wike is there.
He's performing.
Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo is there.
He did 1 or 2 things.
The minister for digital economy, the minister for arts culture, she's there. There are people that we see doing stuff.
Yeah, but how many ministers are there? 40-something?
About 49 or there, about 47.
So how many people did you count now? About 3 or 4? There isn't really much they're doing. I think it's just a waste.
Have you given up on APC?
I'm just highly disappointed. Very disappointed. I actually thought that, there are some places I can't go to. During Buhari's time, second tenure, they broke my windscreen. Because they said, oh, you promised us, now you're enjoying your inside car. Before, when you go to traffic lights, you see them begging, using their hands like this. Now they will knock on your window. Now they will snatch whatever it is that you have. So even if you think, oh, it doesn't affect me, it's coming. I am afraid of the storm that is coming.
There's a storm.
Oh, yeah, there's a storm that is coming. People
and it could consume the APC.
People will think that, it's the North. The North, they don't go to school. There's insecurity. If it blows up in the North, Nigeria is gone. So we have to fix it.
So APC is a difficult name to bear, a difficult party name, a title to bear in public now. Is that dangerous?
Yes, it is. Let me tell you, there was a reconciliation meeting we had at Women's Center for FCT APC members. I swear to God, I only saw 1 APC cap. People went there as APC people, but they did not go there for the government. They went there for the reconciliation so that they can see how relevant they can be. People are even scared. A lady called me last week. She said, we need to start a support group to start campaign for 2027. I said, so what do you want us to do? We should call women. I said, call women. You want to call women with me? I said, don't call me. What do you want me to tell them? I've already used my goodwill. I've already said, what I'm supposed to say. What do you want me to go and tell them now? So that they will eat me and you. I said, no, go. I'm not doing.
APC has always lost in FCT anyways.
Yes.
And this time around, you don't think there's a chance for APC?
When you're in power, it's different. I don't want to, APC, yes, has lost. But now it looks different. Looks like APC is going to, I don't know. Because the serving chairman, for example, in Amak, he was my colleague as a councillor. He ran to APC and he got a ticket. And so many people have been vying for that position. They've worked so hard for years, waiting for that day. And on that day, somebody collected money and he got the ticket. So you can't vie for any position if you really want to serve people.
You have to buy it.
You have to buy it.
Or steal it.
Yeah.
And run with it.
Yes.
Interesting.
And with your full chest too, proudly.
Are you thinking of leaving the APC to join the coalition?
The coalition is not giving me that kind of confidence that when you
the
look,
vibe is not there.
Yes, it's not there because when I look at the people, they're still the same people. So maybe they're just gathering us, maybe probably young people, to say, oh, okay, come, let's all come together. And then when we get there, we just leave you guys behind. And then you are left with your own, whatever future that you feel you have. So I'm not really convinced. And you know, I was at a point in my life, I was like, you know what, maybe this politics is just not for me, you know, because people like me, they don't really allow us to go far because we say our mind. And I'm not the kind of person that has a godfather. I don't go kneeling down, begging people, oh, do this for me. No, I don't do that. So maybe we'll see what will happen.
But I thought that a lot of young people are gravitating towards the Minister of Youth, towards Sheyi, Tinubu, and they thought that they were doing a lot of activities, you know, to... you're not part of those, you're not friends with Sheyi Tinubu, you're not friends with Minister of Youth.
I had a meeting with Sheyi once before campaign, and that was it. We didn't really follow up on that. So, and the Minister of Youth, we're in the same group together, the TPF, that's the Progressive Forum, with Barrister Ismail. It used to be APYF. And I don't know, I don't even want to call myself a youth anymore. Because I think, you know, people are just abusing it in Nigeria. Once you're over 35, I think you should, you know, find, because there's a break, you know, so I wouldn't go. He's doing well. He's creating initiatives, but I'm still yet to see the impact.
Of Sheyi Tinubu?
Not Sheyi, the Minister of Youth, yes. So I'm still yet to see that impact. He's doing a lot of things. Maybe they're in the pipeline, but I'm still yet to see the impact.
Are you giving up on the chances of young people in politics and possible the development of this country?
You see, we young people were worse in Nigeria. We're worse. We're not even ready. You know, we're not ready. I have a program called Ario 100% Focus. We have an event tomorrow in Kaduna. And when I read the comments, when we posted to invite people, and they were like, oh, so what are we getting? You know, we want to see how on our own little way we can address some of the situations that are happening in the North. For example, if we have people that are good in sports, we identify agents, we get them to assess them, and maybe they can, you know, get them jobs outside, you know, get them clubs outside, you know, things like that. Because really what is happening in the North is illiteracy, insecurity, and lack of empowerment or, you know, anything to do. And we can't always wait for the government to hand us everything that we need. We have to make initiatives to be able to at least develop ourselves, add value to ourselves, and at least escape this economic slavery or, you know, whatever mindset we have. So I really am not too sure about young people in Nigeria. I don't think they're ready. I don't think they really understand the gravity of what is coming, you know, because this elderly people, they're still there.
This coalition is basically formed to unseat Bola Tinubu and the APC in 2027. Do you think, I mean, similar to what happened in 2014, 2015, when an incumbent was defeated right in office, do you think this coalition can remove Tinubu and the APC in 2027?
If they're united, if they leave their interest and bring out the best person.
But how easy is it to beat Tinubu in 2027?
They have to bring all their army on board. You know, it's not easy when somebody is in power. You know, and then if you come attacking somebody or you come fighting somebody that is in power and is just one whole person and he has a whole lot of team for him, and then you come scattered, there's no way you can make it.
As a northerner, what is the North saying about Tinubu?
Honestly, I don't have good reviews. It's really bad. It's really bad.
You think the North will vote for Tinubu?
Maybe 30% or less. Or less.
It's going to be worse than the last election, 2023?
Oh, yeah, it's going to be. It's going to be.
What do you think the chances of Tinubu winning this election on a scale of 1 to 10?
It is going to be the toughest battle that he will ever see. Yeah, it's going to be the toughest. Because this coalition, as much as I don't really understand what they're doing, I think when I saw them, I was like, oh, anybody that sees it will be like, we need to sit up.
You led the Sexual Assault Center.
No, I wasn't the lead, but I was part of the team, yes.
Have you personally experienced one?
No.
What do you see about the Natasha Akpotio-Dragon scenario case against the Senate president? The allegations and all that.
Sexual harassment is a very, especially in a setting like ours, is very hard to prove. But let me tell you, even the men doing it, sometimes they don't even know they're sexually assaulting you because they do it all the time. So women face that kind of thing. So I do understand it is very possible it happened, and I would have loved for her to be given a chance to prove, to people that, yes, this actually happened. But I think it was very unfair how she was treated. I think they just ganged up against her. But sexual harassment, everybody, every woman, sometimes is the way you look at a woman is sexual harassment. If it is abroad, they will collect your money or they will sue you. Or sometimes it's the way you pass a comment. Or sometimes it's the way maybe you touch her or something. So they're different sexual assault. And Nigerian women, they see it every day. And I'm not surprised it will happen. It probably happened. So I don't know. I can't really say because sometimes you can't, prove these things. It's her word against his. But I feel like she should have been given a chance to be heard.
In 2027, there has been the agitation that power remains in the South. Do you buy that sentiment?
I don't buy the idea of power North, power South. I believe the best person should lead.
Even if you cause rancor, national rancor, to say the Southern man is just Buhari run for 8 years, the Southern man is there only for 4 years.
If Obi can lead Nigeria and make Nigeria better, and turn Nigeria better than Dubai, I'll support him. But the thing is now, let me tell you, each and every one of us are too scared now of supporting people. Because we've done it before. We had this hope that, this person is better. Once this person comes in, he's going to change things. And it didn't work out that way. So what is in the mind of a person is in the mind of a person. So I don't really... Nigeria is a very complex society where... we've already been divided across, regions, across religion, across tribes and stuff. So everybody wants a piece of that cake. So I believe that Nigeria should be allowed. Nigeria should be governed by somebody that is capable, that is competent.
But a lot of people had high hopes about the capacity of Bola Tinubu.
Yes.
What do you think went amiss?
I really don't know. Is it the people around him? I really don't know because I'm not within I won't be able to tell. But I actually hoped for something different than what I'm seeing. But I honestly don't know what went wrong. I think maybe it's the people he has around him. Or
you imagine that the country is worse now?
Yes, it is.
Under the Bola Tinubu government?
It is just like I mentioned earlier. If you're introducing something, bring something that at least will replace.
Circle.
Yeah, so that you can ease. Yeah, you can ease, the transition.
Your party, for example, I think is in disarray and on the inside. But on the outside, people think all is well. No, because what you describe about your party doesn't look like things are together.
No. Me personally, I think all political parties in Nigeria, they don't even know what they're doing because there's no really internal party democracy. For example, now in APC, if I decide, okay, there's a congress or there's a convention, I want to run for maybe organizing secretary, I have to have somebody that will push for me. Do you understand what I mean? I can't even go and campaign.
Understand now, it's even worse.
Yeah, it's worse because they put their boys there.
So you can't be organic, you can't be a natural, you can't emerge naturally.
So how can you, when you have that kind of process, how can a party just like that, because I feel like
no loyalty, no consistency.
Somebody can just wake up, yesterday he was in LP, Today he's in APC, tomorrow he's national secretary. That's what happens. Or maybe a governor is moving into APC, so they will give him a particular structure and tell him to bring his people. And then you expect them to be loyal to other people, or you expect them to do what they're supposed to do. No, they will do the bidding of that governor.
Have you given up?
Almost.
What do you think can be done to revive your hope?
Do we even have it anymore? You know, we need selflessness. We need to put Nigeria first. That is the most important thing. When you put Nigeria first, then not you. Most people go there because they feel like, okay, this is the new venture that I will make money. And I feel like that is what is giving us all this backwardness. So I feel like if we put Nigeria first and we have, for example, America, no matter how bad Trump is, there are some things that he would not do, even if he thinks he's the most powerful person. You know, our system is so bad that even if you have good intentions and you get there, it will never work. So anybody that leaves, people are saying Goodluck was better than Buhari. People are saying Buhari is better than Tinubu. That is how it will keep going if we do not fix the system. So it's about the system. It's not even about the people. If the system works, the system will deal with the person. So I think we need to fix that, and we need to put Nigeria first.
Zainab, Buba, Galadima, such a pleasure talking to you.
Nice talking to you too.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's our conversation with Zainab Buba Galadima in herself. She has a profile as a politician, but she wears that toga. The time you see her, you remember the father, Alhaji Buba Galadima. Well, you heard our views about Nigeria's politics, the state of the nation, and our party, the APC, and of course the coalition in the face of 2027 election. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in today on the Macon Podcast. I'm Seun Okimaloye. I'll see you next time. Don't forget, subscribe, follow, and share all of the content that you find on this platform. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.
Thank you for joining us on this edition of Macon Podcast with Seun Okimaloye. Macon Podcast for the independent mind.